Welcome everybody. We're live tonight everywhere. Welcome to Advocates for Justice, Paralegal Service. We have the tools and you do the work. So hopefully everybody's having a great weekend because I am. I'll send you guys some vibes if you're not having a good weekend. So welcome tonight. We kind of had a change up on what we're going to cover tonight. I want to show a couple of things here. If you guys are coming into the live stream from Facebook, please make sure that you go to this link as shown at the bottom and allow Facebook to show your name. Otherwise, you show as Facebook user. So it's nicer if I know who I'm talking to. So if you guys could do that, that would be wonderful. And I'm going to leave that up there for a minute so you guys can see it. So, welcome to the program tonight. Tonight, we were going to discuss court etiquette, court hearing etiquette, and how to control the attorney. But we got a little bit sidetracked with something a little more important tonight. And this other thing that we're going to talk about, I think, is going to suck up the time that we have for tonight. So we probably won't get to the court hearing stuff and how to control the attorney. We'll probably touch on that next week sometime. So today we're going to talk about. Today we're going to take a few minutes and talk about the changes that we're going to add to our foreclosure defense lawsuit packages. Yeah, I've been getting some feedback in from various people that are fighting and doing a very, very good job. We had a report from one Facebook member. Her name was DL, and she stopped her foreclosure. The judge finally stopped it after over a year of filing and doing stuff, and he stopped it and said that he dismissed the attorney's foreclosure and said that he dismissed it because there was a pending case in federal court, and that's the way it's supposed to go all the time. But with the fraud, you guys know that the fraud is, and we're going to talk about some of that fraud here later on in this stream. So that's cool for her. I was especially excited for her because she Spanish is her native language, so she struggled a little bit with the language, with English and the legal terms. But thank God I speak Spanish very poorly, and thank God for Google Translator. So that allowed us to communicate a little bit better to make sure she understood the things that she needed to do. And she invested in an online course. So she had all the videos available to her and all of the stuff in the online course. So I'm real proud of her. She did a great job. And the language barrier can make a huge determination in this not working out for you. So I'm really glad that worked out for her. And so now she's deciding what she wants to do next. So the new changes in our non-conventional foreclosure defense strategy, that's what we're going to talk about today. And these changes have come about because of feedback, real-time feedback that I get from members and also from other people that aren't members that I work with who are not in the group. So my new website's been reaching out to a lot of people. So today we're going to talk about a couple of the changes. And the main change, and I'm going to throw it right out here for you, right here out the gate, so you understand where we're going. The main change that one of the main changes we're going to make to our wrongful foreclosure lawsuit is the number one defendant. We're going to change who the number one defendant is. Yeah, and I think when you guys hear me out, you'll be able to chime in on this with your opinion because this is something that you're all dealing with right now. So you'll be able to better decide if what I'm saying makes any sense. Okay. And if it sounds crazy, that's fine too. But at the end of the day, we're gonna see how this works out. So, okay, hang on a second. Let me check over here, make sure. Okay, we're all set. I'm gonna give myself a thumbs up so that I know I'm gonna enjoy what we got to talk about tonight. So let's just get started. So I believe that the state is the plaintiff and their attorneys are working for the state. That's what I believe. Hi, Lynn. That's what I believe. Think about it. The state is already in control of your property deed. Okay. They already tricked you into registering your property deed in their office. And there's no law that mandates that you have to register your deed in their office. And believe me, I've stuck this in plenty of attorneys' faces on Facebook trying to get me shut down, trying to get me shut up or shut down. There ain't no law that mandates you have to register your deed in their office. And once you register your deed in their office, that's what initiates the property tax, zoning, coding, all of that, all of those hassles that you have to put up with. So if and all of these agencies that are stealing your property, they're all controlled by the state. The agencies attacking your property to beat you down are all licensed by the state. So, they're licensed by the state. So, if they're licensed by the state, then they're following direction of the state. Yep. So we need to put the state right down there as number one defendant, and mainly because they're the ones in control of the deed. Yeah, they have all of these corporations all hiding behind each other, and we're going to talk about them here in a few minutes too. And they make it very confusing to figure out which ones you need to go after. So I like to keep it simple. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm seeing here, but I like to keep it simple. We know the lender monetized the promissory note, the promise to pay. We know the lender monetized the promise to pay after you put your signature on it, and that was the source of the alleged loan. We know the corporations do a charge off process as per the legal accounting principles, the GAAP accounting principles, and the alleged debt is charged off in that process and taken off of their books. Yeah, and then it's illegally sold to third-party debt collectors. And that's why when you look at the petition that used in a judicial foreclosure, or you look at the non-judicial foreclosure document that initiates that would be the notice of default letter or the letter of acceleration or some kind of letter saying you owe them a whole bunch of money. When you look at those, you'll see that they're signed by the attorney. They're not signed by anybody from the lender or from the bank or any of that. It's all signed by the attorneys acting as third-party debt collectors. Now, to understand, in my opinion, to understand this mess, you have to know that what they're calling is the mortgage fraud, what most people call the mortgage fraud and all of that, it's really real estate deed fraud. That's what it is. It appears to me that the foreclosure scheme is the scheme for the state to get you off their property. Yeah, off of their property. Remember, they're the ones in control of the deed, charging you property tax and everything after you are paying for the property. And when you run out of paying property tax money, then they just come in and kick you off the property and take over the property. And they don't even care about how much you paid, giving you back. No, yeah, no. That's not what it's about. The scheme the state runs is to get you off of their property. And this is what I'm figuring out based off of all of the feedback that I'm getting from people all over the place and some of my own research, because y'all know I'm crazy like this. Hey, Free Church Press, welcome tonight. So I know it sounds crazy, and yes, I've been called crazy before, mentally incompetent and mentally ill and the works, and I even been sent back for forced medication. But I'm not there anymore. And whether I'm crazy or not is really not the point. The point is that what they're doing is crazy, and it don't make no sense. So I'm fine with anybody who thinks I'm crazy. Think past the stuff and check out what's going on for real. So some folks need proof, uh, and to those people, people want proof, how many wins and how many this and all of that. And for those people, I know they don't do well in my program. Okay, people in my program, I need people in my program that looking to get the win. Okay, I need people that can see that these are facts and they're fire, and we just need somebody that has the courage and the guts to stand up and stick it up in somebody's face. That's what I need in my program. So the question that I must ask and keep it as simple is, who has control over the property? I'm saying, okay, we need to put the attorney, we need to put the law firm, we need to have the lender third. Okay, so we need to have the person that's in control of the property as the number one defendant on your wrongful foreclosure lawsuit. And so who is in control of the property? Well, the state has control of over the original deed to your property. So I'm gonna have to say the state's in charge of that. The state's in charge of collecting the illegal taxes. And by the way, all that is just another RICO scheme to steal your property too. Because when you can't pay the taxes, then they just take your property. And a tax lien, doesn't allow anybody, any legal authority, to take anything. Any kind of a lien doesn't allow anybody authority to take your property. Okay, I'm sorry, that's not a lien is placed on the property to cloud the title, to block it from selling without taking care of the alleged debt. That's what the lien is supposed to be for. But these bar members are a little out of control. And we need to show them how to sit their butt down. That's what we're about to learn how to do. So the state uses your property as collateral for loans from the federal government. I bet you didn't know that. Most people don't realize that their property has a debt attached to it that they don't even know about. And that's one of the reasons why they totally freak when you come to them with this information and with my package, demanding to have your deed returned to you. They totally freak because of all the stuff that they've been doing. Yeah. And the first thing they're going to tell you is, well, you have to pay taxes. And what I tell people to tell them is, hey, dude, seriously, here's the thing. I want my deed returned to me. There's no law that says I have to place it in registered in your office. You guys didn't provide me full disclosure as you have a legal obligation to, before I started getting beat up by all this stuff, believing what you guys said. Okay, so that's the problem. And you want to let them know that you want to have your deed returned to you, and they have no legal grounds to deny you. No legal grounds that I can think of. So this new strategy is not only going to allow you to defend the foreclosure against your property, it's going to allow you to take a shot at getting the deed returned to you too, because that's the beginning of the stuff. Real estate deed fraud. Let's talk about that for a second. Now, your real estate transfer laws require that the property deed be delivered to the new property owner. Check. You check if you don't believe me. Check. Your state real estate statutes mandate that after the sale, the deed is supposed to be delivered to the new owner. But your property deed wasn't delivered to you as mandated by the real estate transfer laws, was it? I'm pretty sure you're all going to say no, it wasn't. The attorneys did what they call a constructive delivery of your property deed, and they registered in their office to help facilitate what most call the mortgage fraud. Yep. They registered in your office to help facilitate the mortgage fraud. And I jam this in attorneys' faces too when they're trying to get in my face and tell me that I'm practicing law and that I'm crazy and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. The real estate deed fraud. All this is done and it helps them facilitate the mortgage fraud. And here's why. So the whole mortgage scheme is fraud, and here's why. If there were several owners of property, all of those property owners would have to be present in order to sign the mortgage lien against the property, right? Yep. So the fact that the bank accepted your signature on the lien against the property proved that you own the property free and clear, or the bank would not have been able to accept your signature. Simple. Can I get an amen? Okay, sorry, got carried away. Oh, so the connections linking the state to the stuff. So think about it. State agencies are the corporations that are attacking our properties. Yep. Someone mentions right in the. Yep. Someone thanks Lynn, the register of deeds. And yep, they're controlled by the state. So yeah, James, definitely not a traditional approach because the traditional approaches were structured by the same parasites that are trying to steal your stuff. I'm pretty sure I already know how that all works. I mean, some states have a little bit different process, James Galley, but in the end, it's still the same. They're pulling the wool over your face. Hey, Patricia, you can contact me later because the live stream is not to help people like this. It's to educate people so that everybody can be on the same page and get to smashing some attorneys in the face. My website, here, I'll post my website where you can go there and educate yourself. There you go. Well, oops, that's a product. There you go. There's a link to my website. You can go there, Patricia, and educate yourself. Take a look at the instructional video for the lawsuit package that you need. If you're in a judicial foreclosure or a non-judicial foreclosure or a tax lien situation, then that's how you're going to make the difference in what you need to look at. So let's see here. And there's one of my lawsuit packages. But you guys can just go to the website and check that out. And we'll pull that up later and take a look at it also. Okay, let's get back to the program here. So I have a team member. I have a team member in our private Facebook study group who blocked the sale of her dad's house like 3 times. Her name is Shamelle Maxwell, and I'm sure she don't mind me sharing her name because we're going to show you some of her stuff tonight. So she had a title dispute filed in federal court. She attacked the judge in state court. She filed all the stuff to challenge the jurisdictional challenge. She did everything that she was supposed to do, and they evicted her family anyway. And she later discovered that they evicted her family in the property tax court without notification, without due process, without anything. They moved the case after the second or third time, I think she stopped it, the sale. They moved it over to the property tax court, and they used the property tax court judgment to evict her family. They was in such a hurry to steal the property, they forgot to check to see if the taxes have been paid already. And yes, the taxes were paid already. And the county assessor's office could not explain to her why her family was evicted for delinquent property tax. And they were paid. And the people who allegedly bought the house at the auction, I guess, didn't pay the property tax that was already paid. Yeah, it's getting crazy. This is going on in Richland County, South Carolina. And now Judge Joseph M. Strickland from South Carolina, he was stopped in foreclosure court and he moved the case over to the property tax court, ruled against the homeowner without checking to see if the taxes were paid. Crazy, huh? Well, it gets even more crazy. Shamelle filed a lawsuit against the state court judge, and the state court judge refused to. Well, what he did was he returned the lawsuit because he claimed it was not file stamped in state court. Well, it was not file stamped in state court because the clerk supervisor of the state court was named in the lawsuit, and she refused to file it. And at least they read her stuff. Okay, yeah. So what we did was we she went ahead and filed the lawsuit against the judge that she was going to file in state court. She filed it in her federal lawsuit, and then the sheriffs went and served the judge again, and we ain't heard anything from that. But what we have heard is that now the judge has his mail being delivered to her dad's house. And she still has a wrongful foreclosure title dispute filed in federal court. And I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to do a screen share. I know some people think I'm crazy, so. Okay. Here we go. Now, this is the letter from going to Shamelle's dad's house that they lost in tax court because they didn't lose it in foreclosure court. They lost it in tax court. And now the judge has his mail going to her house. That's what do you guys think about that? Lynn says, let me Oops. I'm just gonna leave it up to you guys to check it out for a minute. Lynn says, they're not too bright. And the fact that they hurried up and did all this and they never checked to see if the taxes were paid, and they didn't pay the taxes. Yeah, so the county assessor's office, they was like, they actually took Shamelle back into the back room and showed her the computer. They told her there's gonna have to be an investigation in that. You think? Yeah, I think there's going to be an investigation into that. And this is Shamelle. She's texting me. Shamelle, we're on now. I'm letting her know that I'm showing her stuff. Yeah, so this is the kind of fraud that we're facing. Now, I have a couple of other people that are in this similar situation. And these kinds of things are the things that that make us need to change the way the program is run. Because I mean, this is appalling. It pisses me off. Not my house. Yeah, this is sad. So we're going to change the program to address this situation. Okay, let's get rolling again. Now, the case number for Shamelle's case I want to show it to you guys. I want to show it to everybody. Because who knows? I know some people are looking at this that want to make me shut down. So we're going to just show it. We're going back to the screen share. I forgot to show you this. I wanted to put her case number right out there so everybody can see it. Here you go. This is her case. Her dad's case. This is her dad's name, and this is the judge. Now, as you see here, we started answering to just the judge because it was obvious the attorney wasn't involved. So we just put the judge name up there as a plaintiff, and all of a sudden the judge is getting his mail coming to her house. So I think we got the right plaintiffs on there. And this is one of the reasons why we're going to change and add the state. We're going to add the state as the number one defendant. That'll put a stop to this crap, or at least that's my plan. So we're going to stick on Coach Neighbor's highway. But yeah, this is her dad's case number, and anybody in South Carolina that's in the Justice Department or in the courthouse should be looking at this, because this video also we're going to cut out and send part of it over to Washington, D.C. for investigation. And we're going to send it out to some other agencies too to see if we can get someone that would be interested in taking a look at this. So, hey, Neville. How are you today? Welcome. Patricia Walls. You're welcome, Patricia. You can catch up with me later. See if we can help you get on the program. As long as you're not in the panic mode. I don't work well with people in panic mode. So I'm just saying. But you can contact me. You can get my information off my website. And you're welcome. I love my job. Thank you. Most people think I'm a good coach. Sometimes if people drag their feet, they get grumpy at my coaching. But if you're on my team, then I'm going to let you know. I would be doing myself and you guys a disservice if you were dragging your feet and acting like everything was fine. So, and that's not me. So, okay. Most of the people that are in my group that deal with me know I have plenty to say. So in Shamelle's dad's case, the ruling foreclosure judge appears to be the new property owner and is having his mail delivered to the foreclosure address while the federal lawsuit is pending against him and the attorney that signed to initiate the foreclosure process against her dad's property. The lawsuit's pending in federal court, and the judge is getting mail at the house. Something is wrong with the picture. The judge was served a lawsuit, I think a week ago, maybe, or a week and a half ago. I'm hoping Shamelle comes on and chimes in and she can help us out with the facts. PT, hey, Phil T, what's up, buddy? I'm glad you like what you see. I got more on my YouTube video. I think I have 185 videos now. And yeah, they tried to get me shut down a couple of times. Not on YouTube, but they tried to get my website shut down a couple of times. I follow all YouTube's rules and stuff, so they have no reason to be in my face for anything. So welcome to the group, buddy. And thank you. I'm glad you like what you see because we don't play around here. On my program, you're gonna learn how to punch attorneys in the face. And we don't do no conventional crap. We do unconventional. Basically, we never go into court being a defendant. That's ridiculous. We never go into court being a defendant. And if you've been in this fight for a while, now you're tired of getting punched in the face. So it's time to do some punching. Since you've been looking at those, what have you been looking at, buddy? Okay, so like I said, we were going to cover some other stuff tonight, but I got started on this. Oh, at the YouTube videos. Cool, cool, cool. Cool. Now, those videos I put together, the information in those videos is pretty much what I have in the packages. Okay, because I structured the videos after I learned to make the package. So people who know how to do this or have some skills can do that. People who don't have time and need the documents can go to the website and get what they need. And then you can go. The first thing that you need to do, actually, before you even invest in the documents, I advise people to take a look at the instructional videos. Yep. You guys take a look at the instruction videos, and it walks you through the strategies for using all of the documents at different times. And you're going to have to go back and rewatch the video at some point in time when you start on working through the program, because you can't remember everything all right out of the gate. So you guys should spend a lot of time on those instructional videos and taking notes. So, our new strategy, we're going to talk about that now. So, the new strategy is you need to add your estate to the wrongful foreclosure slash breach contract lawsuit as the number one defendant. And then I would put the attorney next, and then the law firm to block the law firm people from helping the attorney. That's what I would do. I think the state is in control. Well, I know the state's in control of the original property deed. I think the state is the one that facilitates all of the foreclosure process, the administrative part of the foreclosure process behind the doors. And any of you guys in a judicial foreclosure, at the bottom of the petition is a file stamp, is a barcode stamping. And in my opinion, that barcode stamping is the administrative file number of your property in the administrative court, the court that they should be dragging you in, because that's what they're doing. They're in their fake administrative court. They should be dragging you in their real administrative court. That's also a fake admin. Okay, sorry. We got a little carried away on that. But anyway, so here's the thing. There's a bunch of things. Here's the thing. There's no way in hell they could sell your property on the courthouse steps without having a file of your stuff already from day one to now. Yeah, and that's the state part of this program, because these state agencies are all licensed by the state. They're connected to the state, and they're interstate frauders. Okay, sorry, I made that up. Yep. Well, no, never. I just want to stick with the judge, because we need to have somebody that's going to put this fire out. Yep, and dismiss the case. And in the end, it's going to have to be, you know, well, you're suing the when you sue the state, you're going to be suing the attorney general too. So you're going to be suing everybody. Well, okay, I take that back. We're not suing everybody because that's a hassle. We already talked about that in different videos. You can't add a whole bunch of people to there, because now it gets complicated. You got to respond to all these people, and so are the. So Phil T, dude, you're asking me questions that's in the homework. So tonight, this is not what we're talking about, this other situation tonight. So if you're watching my videos, you know what I got in the videos and stuff. So I'm gonna let you go and do your homework and figure that out. So if you know these words, you already know what's going on. And if you want to see if they're in the packages, you can go to the website and take a look, because most everyone's already been there and they know these questions that you're asking. No offense, but I'm going to move on with my tonight is education. These questions you can ask in Facebook or whatever, but we're here tonight to get educated. So I'd like if you guys have any comments about what we're talking about tonight. That's kind of what we want to talk about for real, because we're about to step up and go down another path on this puppy. Okay, so the new strategy will get you in position to attack for mortgage fraud, and to get control of the deed to your property at the same time. So that's kind of what we're doing here. It's kind of like merging a little bit the property lawsuit, tax, whatever, but we're not even going to go there because we don't need to. We're just going to use facts. And the fact is that state is the one in charge of, in control of your property by your deed being registered there. And there's no law that says you have to register your deed in their property. So they should not have a problem when you demand to have your deed returned to you. They should not have a problem with returning your deed to you. But they will. And we have a plan for that. So once you jam them up with that, you will force the state judge to have a conflict of interest. So once you once you add the state to your lawsuit, and now it's a problem because the state judges, and you're going to be suing one of the judges too, more likely than not. And once you go down that road, once you add the state, none of the state judges can, because they're all getting paid by the state. So they would have a conflict of interest. So what you need to do is just recuse them. We're going to recuse the state judge for the conflict of interest. Yeah, I love figuring out ways to jam them up at the gate with their own stuff. So once you recuse the judge for a conflict of interest because you are suing the state, then that's kind of kind of going to be a freaking problem for somebody. Think about it. So now they need to find a judge for you. Now you can force the court to transfer their foreclosure over to federal court, because no judge in the state court level can hear the case because they are getting paid by the party that's controlling the deed to your property. Bam! And you're welcome. Yeah. Yep. This all kind of fit together. My brain works in a really weird way, and it's working pretty damn good right now. Hey, what's up, MYX Capital? Welcome. We getting it done. Thank you, Patricia. I got you, Phil T. I got you. So for me, I have to kind of try to stay focused because I have ADD, so I'll be all over the place. So sometimes I am anyway, but that's why I don't really like talking about a bunch of other things. Now, next week we might have part of the show where we answer questions, as long as your questions got to do with like the process that we're doing or switching over to this process or something. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about their stuff because we don't use any of that crap in what we're doing. So next week I'll allow time. Next Saturday I'll allow some time to answer your questions that you have about how to switch your stuff over to this stuff, or how to use this stuff to kick that stuff's butt or something. Okay, I don't really want to talk about all of the things that happened to people in 2009 because we don't use any of that stuff. And sometimes I have people get real grumpy with me when I'm trying to shut them off. But those people must understand that it's a matter of time. And I'm listening to things that I don't need to hear because we're not going to use any of those things. And I'm missing 2 or 3 phone calls of people calling in for help. So it's a time issue. Yeah, it is. Logic is weird these days. But I tell you what, if thank you. I tell you what, the real-time feedback that I get from people, and sometimes I get too much, but the real-time feedback I get from people helps me figure these things out. Because I mean, you'd have no idea the difference that what I see helping all of these, like there's 608 people in the group, and I help people that's not in the group because everybody that buys my documents off the internet is not in the group. So all of those people I get feedback from allows me to figure out what we need to be doing, and it allows me to see things that most people wouldn't recognize because of something that someone told me in California and something that someone told me from Georgia fit together. Oh, nice. Or yeah, North Carolina or South Carolina or Richmond County, South Carolina. Yeah. So we get a chance to see some real dirt and like what's going on with Shamelle and her family. And I'll tell you one thing. I take my hat off to Shamelle. She never, when they were evicting them, she never gave up hope. She called me on the phone. She said, "Coach Neighbors, I got to pack. We're packing up right now, and then I'm gonna call you back tomorrow for what the next plan, because we're not done here." We're not done here. Yeah. So yeah, I take my hat off to her. That young lady has the courage of a tiger, of a lion, and she's still, they're not in their house, but her foot's still in the door. And I'll tell you, she did her own homework. She did her own homework and found out that they moved it over to the tax court, and they did all of no. I didn't tell her to go check all that stuff. She did that stuff on her own, and she figured it out. Of course, then I had some ideas of what we need to do. Yeah, that's where the coaching comes in. Yep. And well, I'm glad you're still in your house, Lynn. And this is what we're figuring out. It's the state behind all of this stuff. I was trying to rack my brain trying to figure out how the property is ending up back in on the market, you know, because at the end of the day, the lender did a charge off and charged it off the taxes, wrote it off on the insurance, wrote off the taxes, and that's supposed to be a wrap. Oh wait, it's not. There's more to unwrap. So now you can force the court to transfer your case over to federal court, because no judge on a state court level can hear the case, because they're getting paid by the party that's foreclosing. They're getting paid by the party that's in control of the property that's doing the foreclosure. They're getting paid by the party that issues the licensing to all of these little parasite companies that are coming after your property. Yep. And this is better explained to me how the property circles back around to be sold again by a different lender, allegedly. I think they're being sold by by Judge Joseph Strickland. And he's running everything in the whole country. Okay, sorry. I got carried away. So this scheme works because corporations share information, and share information, and they're in intermingled illegal process. That's how this works. Well said. That's pretty much it. Sula says, "Don't banks sell a promissory note after?" Well, no, it don't work like that, Phil. So, well, okay, so the promissory note was signed by you, and after you left the table, they stamped paid to an order of, turned it into a security. They turned it into a check, basically, and processed it through the Federal Reserve. It would not have processed through the Federal Reserve if it didn't have your signature on it, and then the signature of the bank president or whatever. And yes, the promissory notes are pooled in the service and pooling agreement and sold off. But see, here's the thing: you never go into foreclosure court arguing these things. Okay, you don't want to go into foreclosure court arguing the system. That's the way they structured it. You argue the system, you might as well just kiss your butt goodbye. Okay, so number one, the number one mistake that most people make is they have the lender as the number one defendant, And then they have all these other people, servicers, and all, but they don't have their attorneys on there any place. Okay, that's never one mistake. So we don't go into court and address what we do is we attack them for these problems that they, for the fraud that caused the problems that you're having right now. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, it's very effective application. Basically, you are going to make them not want to have you in their court. That's how we roll. We ain't trying to go to court. We already know the judge is not going to give you anything or agree with you or none of that. And we have a program in place that actually jumps on the judge's butt as soon as the judge helps them. And the new package that I put together, the jurisdiction challenge / lawsuit package with the affidavit, that package has a lawsuit in it that you can actually sue the judge with before you even have to go to court. If they serve you some crap and it got the judge's name on who the judge is going to be, you can sue the judge right there for unrelated stuff. Challenge the judge's legal standing. Yeah, that's what I call it. Yeah, Phil, this is something we can discuss later. I'll accept the money order or snail mail, whatever. I don't know. I'll think about it. This is something we can discuss later. I'm trying to finish the program here, so I don't want to hide you and not show your comments, but they're not pertaining to what we got going on here. So, trying to get done before I run out of time, and then I have to put more quarters in the meter and stuff. So, we're going to add a new number one defendant to the lawsuit package. We're going to add the state, and then we're going to recuse the judge due to a conflict of interest as he's being paid by the foreclosing party, or at least he's being paid by who we claim is the plaintiff. And remember, they started this mess. They have the burden of proof. I have people telling me all the time, "Oh, I can't. I need to double check so I can prove." No, what you need to do is just take my word for it, because obviously I've done the homework already. At least until you get yourself out there where you have time to sit around wasting your time trying to double check everything. But here's the deal. They started this mess. They have the burden of proof. You don't have to prove crap. This strategy is powerful because of what you're packing in the documents that you get from my website. The goal is to slap them around just like they've been doing you and make them visualize the shared liability and then make them go sit the hell down. That's how we do it. We never want to go into court. And that's what I tell people. You never want to go into court. So I was watching a movie and the attorney told this guy, you pay me to create create muck. M-U-C-K. I'm spelling it so YouTube won't jam me up, because if there's cuss words in there, they won't allow my video to show on some of the monetized sites or whatever. So she said, you pay me to create muck. M-U-C-K. I like that. You hired me to help you create muck. Yep. Yeah. We address the dirty monkey, M-U-C-K-Y, stuff that they don't want others to understand. That's how we do it. Here, you will learn how to use their loopholes against them, like jamming up the judge. And when you take out the judge, then their ship is stuck afloat in their admiralty jurisdiction without a motor. Yep. And they're stuck without a motor, just floating around out there like you was doing while they were slapping you in the face. Mm-hmm. So you guys can see that there's quite a bit of thought put into this program. Yep. And we're still learning every day. Learning every day. Tamla says she got a lot of punching tools. Yeah, that's how we do it around here. We're gonna set you guys up where you can do some punching in the face and punching some attorneys in the face, and this is my therapy for what I've been through. So for what my family's been through. So you guys can see that I enjoy what I do. And yeah, they tried to shut me down a few times, and I'm still here. So nanny nanny boo boo. Yeah. I know they're gonna try again. They can come anytime. I got my package that I need to have mailed to me, and they come and haul me off for some stupid crap like they did before. But I don't think they can get away with that anymore, because the worst thing that we ever did when we were going through the mess that we went through, my family and I, my wife and I, the worst thing we ever did was took an attorney. That was the biggest downfall. Once you took an attorney, the attorney's kissing their butt, telling them everything that you think the attorney, yeah. And now we are doing something about it. And it's a positive. We're doing something positive. So, options for damages. I like to discuss this because I had a guy tell me one day, "Well, how can you come up with 5.5 million?" I told him, I said, "Dude, you know what? You can okay, for me, the 5.5 million don't even come close to touching what I watched my wife go through and my kids, the worrying. Okay. There's no amount of money that it could even come close to to touching what I went through." And I told him, I said, "So I go with a high amount because I want the jury, you know, if they, you know, I don't, we ain't trying to have no jury, but I'm trying to make this conversation work here. So tell him I want to make sure the jury knows that I'm pissed off and that I was damaged considerably. And that's why we're asking for the 5.5 million." Now, I told him what you can do is you can follow their rules and just put, like, you know, 2 times the whatever and whatever, and you can do whatever you want. You can mark it down to 50,000 if you want to. And of course, at that point, he's like, no, I don't think so. Yeah. So you can file your wrongful foreclosure lawsuit as a counterclaim in their state foreclosure, in their state court foreclosure, and jam it all up. You can do this without having to pay filing fees. So if you're facing foreclosure and you're worried you don't have enough to pay the filing fees in federal court and do all that, you don't have to do that. Now, when they get jammed up and have to move to federal court, it's a problem for them because they have state court crap in their documents, and state court crap will not fly in federal court. Now, and the documents you get from me are all structured with federal court case law, even the ones that you file in state court. And I have the case law in the document that supports your doing that. And here's the thing: at the end of the day, there's no difference filing federal case law in state court than there is filing Supreme Court case law in federal or state. Okay, because federal court's a higher court, and you can file any. No, they don't like it. They complain and whine about it all the time, but they can't do crap and thing about it. So there you go. And so when the thing goes down and it gets moved over to federal court, they're screwed. They're going to have to refile and do all of this stuff, and you are going to be ready for trial. And you know what I tell people? I tell people to add a file stamp copies of the stuff that you filed in state court to jam up the state court judge and take control of all that. Add that stuff to your lawsuit in federal court as an exhibit. And now you don't need the discovery. You don't need all that stupid crap, because remember, it ain't going to be about that crap anyway. Okay, what it's going to be about is them taking jurisdiction without legal authority. That's what it's going to be about. So if you follow the program and get this stuff filed in order like you need to, you're building your program that you need to use in That's Shamelle again. She's trying to figure out how to watch it. I'm on YouTube. I'm on YouTube, Shamelle. You never watched me on YouTube before, dude? Oh man. I'm gonna have to send you to go run. I wasn't gonna say the bench. No, I've never sent her to the bench. She might come after me. Okay, no, she wouldn't come after me. No, I wouldn't do that. She would not have to come after me. Easy. She's messaging me. I hope she gets on so she can learn this. The good thing about it, she can rewatch it again if she missed it. Hey, Shamelle, I'm live on the live stream tonight, talking to you on the phone. Boy, you feeling pretty special tonight, huh? I don't have you on speakerphone yet, though, so I want to tell you that. So I'm on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and watch me there, man. We're about to finish up here. We still got a little ways to go, but yeah, we're talking about your situation, and that's causing us to change how we're going to be doing things. Okay. Okay, nice. So hang on a second. I'm going to put you on speakerphone so other people can hear you, okay? Okay. So what I would do is I would make sure that you send them the file stamp copies of your lawsuit that you have filed in federal court and stuff that you filed in state court and all of that stuff with the judge's name on it.
Okay.
I would make sure that you send them all of that stuff because you want them to look at the documents that you filed and more than hearing your words.
Right, right.
And once they see the documents, then that's really going to give them the credibility that they need to do whatever they want to do if they want to do something, you know. And I would also contact the NAACP. A lot of times, those people can come out with an attorney for you that you can halfway trust.
Right. So I'm just basically going down there Monday and take care of a lot of that matter because I want to know how in the world did a judge name get on my dad's property.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think the starting point for that would be to see whose name is signed on the property right now. That would be where I would want to start at because they'll tell you right, you know, if it's the actual judge or if you got somebody, you know, whatever. But you want to know because that person needs to be added to your lawsuit.
Right. And by me looking at it, the document, the company that has it don't even have a name to it, but it's listed on his mail as SFR3.
Mm.
So this is the person who's supposed to be saying they have ownership of the property.
Hmm. Yeah, so they might set up a shell corporation or something like that. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, having that, and I showed the in the stream tonight the copy of the picture of the letter that you sent me showing the judge's name on it and everything, and I actually posted your case number, your dad's case number in here too, so people can see it. And I'm thinking this would be a nice live stream to send over to the people in the city because they have their email addresses and stuff on their city charter thing from the, you know, showing everybody's email address and phone number or whatever. And that would be a good idea to send them over, you know, because you want to let all these other people start seeing it because that's how this blows up in their face when all these other people that have been involved in it find out that it's about to blow up and they don't want to be involved in it no more. Okay, that's when the rats start jumping the ship. Is that baby I hear?
Yes, sir, it is.
And he's gonna be ready to rock and roll too here pretty soon.
Right.
All right, hon. I'm gonna let you go. Keep me posted on what you find out, because I'm anxious to see who the owner of the property is.
Right. I'm definitely gonna find that out.
And then that way you'll have what you need, because when you go down to talk to the attorney general and these other people, you're going to be able to, you're going to need to have the names that they need to start out with. And then we'll let them figure out if it's a shell corporation and who it is doing what. Because right now, judge's name is on the paperwork going to your dad's house like he owns it.
Right.
That's the problem.
That's a big problem.
So how many days has passed since the judge been served?
It was a little bit in the beginning of May.
Okay.
Then he has been served.
So it hasn't been 21 days yet?
No, it hasn't been 21 days.
Okay. Well, you want to keep a close count on that, because if he's 1 hour off, we're gonna do the same thing they do to us. Jam them up.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm ready to do.
All right then, girl. I'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Yeah, so she's a fighter. And I'm really happy for her family that she has herself in position to hold these fools accountable. And, the sad thing is that these people are so used to screwing everybody over. They're not used to having their butt handed to them on a paper plate. And that's what she's about to do. Well, I'm sure they're trying to figure out. So she told me when she calls, I asked her one day, how many times do you think you've called down to the courthouse to talk to the clerk? She said, Mr. Guy, I'm just going to tell you, just about every day. She said, when she calls down there, they answer the phone. Hello, Miss Maxwell. They already know who she is. And she said, when she added the clerk to her lawsuit, the other lady, they had to talk to her because another lady had to talk to her now because the supervisor of the clerk was added to the lawsuit. So the other lady that had to talk to her, she said she could tell that lady was scared in her voice. And yeah. Oh, yeah, never. She is. You can tell on her voice. She ain't. That kid went and had that baby at the hospital, and she was in her hospital bed directing her dad and her brother to go file stuff. I'm not lying. I am not lying. She was having that baby and she was still filing stuff. No, she ain't playing. So I told her this was the first time I ever had anybody filing stuff from the hospital having a baby. Yeah. But she's serious and she ain't playing. So I got her back 120%. And I think we're going to do a blog and send the blog over to who knows? Maybe I'll see the judge's email. We can include him in everything because that's the way we roll. We ain't saving nothing for later. So yeah, I need to get my new program set up. Well, I can do all this through the computer and talk to people on the phone. And keep forgetting to do that until I need to use it. You know how that goes. Okay, let's wrap this up here. Yeah, see, now you see why I'm only doing. I started going to do 2 things tonight, and then I wanted to just touch on this, and I still didn't get. I didn't get half the stuff written down that I wanted to talk about tonight, but we can do more than one video on this, so that's what we're going to have to do. But this is real interesting, and this gives everybody a little bit of a different perspective on the situation. So when you come in with a counterclaim in their state court foreclosure, okay, now you can get your stuff filed on the record without paying fees. And you know, the way our program is set up, if you're going to be jamming up the judge, so as soon as you jam up the judge, it's going to be a problem for him, because now the other judges are going to have a problem. So by filing it in state court and jamming them up in state court, this will allow you to take immediate control and muck everything up. That's muck, M-U-C-K, everything up. Yeah, that's going to be my new word, right? And we have the lawsuit showing $5.5 million. But remember, in this program, you have learned to not allow their limitations to be your limitations. Okay, and if you ain't learned that, then you're going to be in trouble. So you can add to your lawsuit that you're suing the attorney for or judge for their house. You can do whatever you want. You can sue them for the belt, the shoes that they got on their feet. Okay, nobody wants their stinky shoes, but you you get the point, right? You can sue them. You can sue the state for the court's corporate charter. You can sue for their corporate charter, and then you get to go sit in the judge's chair because you be the boss then, right? My sister sued the attorney and his wife because her name was on the property. My sister sued the attorney for his house, his and her house. And they were served at their house because their wife had to sign. Yeah, she had to sign. Yeah, because she signed the property. Her name was on the property, so she had to sign too for the service. And my sister also sued the State Bar Association. And yeah, that was the case that was terminated very soon after that. Could you imagine? And my sister came up with this idea of serving them at their house and making sure his wife signed too. That was her idea. I think I should get her to work for me because she's got this program down pretty dang good. Yeah. So can you imagine what kind of turmoil was caused at the attorney's house when his wife finds out that someone's suing them for $5.5 million and suing them for their house and suing him as an attorney and the State Bar Association? This don't look too good. Yeah, somebody didn't get lucky that night. Okay, sorry. I enjoyed that a little bit too much when she told me she did that. Well, actually, I didn't even know she did it. I read about it in the attorney's response. Yeah, and it was so funny. I was like, I called my sister up. I was laughing so hard I couldn't hardly talk. Okay, anyway, yeah. I told her that I should be paying her for having all this fun. Now, you guys need to remember they have the burden of proof, and I'm gonna end on that. Now, I'm going to show you guys one more thing on the screen share before I go tonight. And this is my website. And when you open it up, this window pops up asking you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to control that because I'd like to have it pop up later after people have spent some time on the page to see the value that I'm bringing to the table. But I think the biggest problem that I'm having is people are not seeing the X up here in the corner to close this up, the little tiny white X. Apparently on your phone is way up in the top or something. I don't know. So I want to show you guys that when you go to the website, this pops up. You gotta click on the X and then close it up so that you can see it. And this is what the homepage looks like on my website. GoDaddy did a great job putting my website together. Man, it's so pretty. I still have to add some of the packages to the homepage. I have them all connected on the product page. So this is what the new website looks like, and these are some of my older, Google reviews. I don't think I have any in the last 2 months. Well, yeah, I don't think I posted any of the last 2 months, month and a half or so. And then there's more information. Now, when you guys go to my website, you're going to need to. It's good to scroll down and look at all that stuff. Most people just head over to the product page and take a look at the products here. Oh, well, that's nice. I was trying to get these all lined up in the right order, and it wasn't showing from the backside that they were lining up, but I see they're lined up now. Huh. I did a really good job. I don't know how I did. Okay, never mind. But anyway, so here are the packages, and you can click on add to cart, and then you can see more information on it, on the package. And this is our marriage dissolution package that we put together for people who want to get a divorce and not have to spend a whole ton of money for attorneys and all of that crap. And this is really cool because this is teaching you how to do the same thing that they're going to do, how to place your marriage dissolution document in the public record right next to the marriage license. So they charge you tons of money to have an attorney and a court cost and all of that. When they're all done, they're going to pay $10 and put your, like they did with the marriage license. You done all that stuff and you pay for a license that you didn't need. And then they posted it in the public record for $10 to verify that you're legally married. So yeah, and this is the new sanctioned prosecutor motion here that I put together for criminal charges, traffic, anything. This is like the bomb. And I've had 3 people use this so far, and all 3 people's case got dismissed before there was even a hearing. So that's pretty powerful document. And this United States affidavit of state citizenship, I've been including this for free if people purchase a document this month. So you'll get that free. And this is the credit card lawsuit package. Oh, and this, I'd like to get this at the top, but I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. This is the online course. The online course is super badass. The online course is the bomb, and it's half price right now for $1,200. And I think we have 52 people in the online course. So if you go to the online course and you click on it, then it's going to take you over to teachable.com, over to my paralegal school where the course is located. And then you can scroll down and you can read about the course and a little bit about what we do. And these are some of the people that are like this couple here, Jay and Sue. They were one of the first couple to use my my lawsuit package, and they're out of Texas. Over 2 years ago when I started making the lawsuit packages, and they're still in their house. So yeah, still in their house. And I know who that guy is. He's always in the way. And he always talks too much. He gets me in trouble. Anyway. So you guys can head over to the online to the school and check it out. Click on take a look at the courses and all this stuff. You can see quite a bit in there. The online course is the bomb. It does not have the same documents that's in the lawsuit packages. The online course I stepped up, and the online course is the bomb. So I structured the online course for entrepreneurs who want to learn how to be a paralegal and do what I'm doing. Also for property investors who are fighting to save their properties, you can invest in the online course, and then you can have a department of people or a group of individuals managing all of your foreclosed properties. If you own several properties, you're a property owner, and basically you just keep the documents that you use for each property in a notebook binder in a reverse chronological order. So when you open up the notebook binder, the document, the last document that you file is right on the top, and then you take that with you or whatever, use that to work from. I have a paper copy. It's easier to do that and flip it open and get notes or stuff from than it is to find everything on the computer when you're doing things already. But the course is set up for entrepreneurs, and it was also set up for property owners to use to kick attorneys in the face. Uh, yeah, yeah. I'm not going to repeat that MX capital because I have to spell out each time. It says starts with an M, so they can make sure that that YouTube make sure that I'm not saying that bad word. But yeah, that's funny. Yeah, GoDaddy did a great job. So that is all the value I have for you guys tonight. I appreciate a privilege of sharing your time. For those of you who are facing this situation, you should get rolling before you run out of time. Because remember, if you wait too long, it's going to be a problem because I don't work well with people in a panic mode. So, and they'll tell you, I don't work well with people in a panic mode. And I do not deal with drama. If you cause drama, I'm going to boot you. If you get kicked out of the group and you go to my YouTube channel and you start complaining on the YouTube channel that you got kicked out of the group, I'm going to boot you there. And if you message me or call me and start complaining, then I'm going to boot you there too. So that's how that goes. And I don't really care. I have a bunch of people that are working their butts off, and I want to make sure that the program is great for those people that are working their butt off, and they'll need people. The problem that I have when people come to my invest in my package, okay, the digital downloads that you get, that's what you invested in. The coaching, the extra stuff, all of those things, being in the group, those are things that are done at my discretion. Okay, just because you pay for the package, don't you're not privileged to get any of that extra stuff. Okay, those are things that you get at my discretion, and my discretion is for the people who are here. The people who are here to learn how to do this, those are the people that get put in the group, and we're rolling, not a problem. The people who are here to get this done faster because they don't see the value in doing the homework, those people are not going to be here because they get mad at me when I when I tell them to go do your damn homework. Okay, if you ask me for a bunch of stuff that's already in the video that you're supposed to have watched already, so some people think that that's what the program is set up for, so they can get help from everybody in the group to give them the answers, so they don't have to do what the people in the group did to go do the homework and figure some shit out. That's okay. So I'm just going to leave that there. If you cause problems and you get booted from one place and you cause problems in another place, you're going to get booted from that place, and you're just going to get booted because at the end of the day, this program is for people that are ready to fight and learn the process. We ain't worried about being perfect. We damn sure ain't worried about hurrying. And I have people telling me all the time, hey, I'm like, dude, if you're in a hurry, I'm not your man. Okay. Because I don't do now at the end of the day, if you pay attention and you do what you need to do, you don't need to worry about it, even if you are in a hurry, because you'll jam them up. But the people that's in a hurry don't do the homework, and then they get themselves caught in a problem. And then they call and tell me, I did it. No, you didn't do everything. Okay. So good night, guys. I will see you guys next week, maybe on Tuesday, and we'll talk about what we need to talk about to take control of the attorneys in the court. That was the other half of what I want to talk about tonight. But you can see the other subject that I just wanted to touch on turned out to be the whole subject that we talked about. So, and that was pretty important. I think it's pretty important because everybody using my packages needs to understand that we're going to change now, and we're going to add the state as the number one defendant. And then you're going to need to figure out how to serve the state. Oh, yep. I'm pretty sure you serve the state by sending your document over to the Attorney General, which is what some people have to do anyway because the judges are not trying to follow any of what they're supposed to be doing. Imagine that. Good night, guys.